I wasted a lot of time watching Khan Academy videos, which people said were amazing. My name is Hannah, and today, I'm here to tell you about my path to success through planning and research into creating the best study schedule for me so that you can create the best study schedule for you. I took the MCAT in April of my junior year. When I was choosing classes for my sophomore and junior year, I knew that I'd be taking the MCAT in the near future. Knowing myself, I wanted to stack my classes beforehand so that I had all the knowledge before it was time to start studying for the test. I had heard horror stories from upperclassmen who were trying to study for the MCAT before they had even taken some of the classes they were being tested on, and I knew that this would freak me out. I overloaded my schedule throughout my sophomore year and junior fall, completing the organic chemistry, physics, and biochemistry sequences in just 3 months. This took a lot of planning ahead, but ultimately, when it came time to study, I felt like I had a really good foundation to start from. In addition, I was able to take the minimum number of credits this semester that I was taking the exam because I had gotten so ahead. This gave me the freedom in my schedule to have a 3-day weekend, which made it much easier to regularly take full-length practice tests and devote enough time to reviewing and studying. Once my semester started, I was studying around 15 hours per week, balanced around courses, research, and volunteering. Although not possible for everyone, I highly recommend planning far in advance when you want to take the MCAT. For example, if you're working full-time, you can do your best in the months before you start to study to not take any time off so that during your study period, you have extra paid time off accumulated that will allow you to prioritize studying. This will allow you to optimize your time and give yourself the best possible chance to succeed. The next most important thing to customize based on you and your needs is the different resources you plan on using. I did my research through Reddit and various online reviews about the different resources that were out there and decided to buy the full UWorld question set, along with every question that AMC had to offer. I also downloaded some Anki decks for Psych Soc review, and I also started doing Jack Weston practice cars section. Although it might sound like alphabet soup, it started raising my practice exam scores dramatically. I found out which resources were best for which section and what type of learners and use this to my advantage. This definitely depends on you and your habits. I love learning through flashcards, so I knew that Anki would help me memorize the endless list of terms for Psych Soc. However, some people might learn better through creating mnemonic devices or watching videos that helps contextualize the terms. I wasted a lot of time watching Khan Academy videos, which people said were amazing, and although the content was great, I found that since I was just passively watching them, I wasn't really absorbing anything. However, if you're someone that can see visual concepts and understand them, then this could be great for you. Ultimately, the most important thing when creating a study schedule and developing your plan is to tailor it to your strengths. I planned out my full-length exams weeks in advance to make sure that I would have a full day to take the exam and a full day to review it. Because AMC practice exams are like gold. I started at a 5.11 and took my last full length a week before my test. On this practice test, I scored a 5.19 before ultimately scoring a 5.21 on my real test. Seriously, there's no better way to gauge your preparedness, and I made sure to plan out these tests far in advance so that I didn't waste them. Besides the full-length exams, I also planned out how many UWorld questions I needed to do per day. This wasn't always an exact number, but I essentially divided the number of questions that I had by the amount of days until my test and made sure to do that amount every single day. This amount typically took me anywhere between 45 to 90 minutes. I did this for 2 reasons. First, I wanted to make sure that I would set aside at least that amount of time per day to make sure that MCAT wasn't getting pushed to the side amongst my other responsibilities. Second, I wanted to have a baseline for myself to make sure I wasn't overdoing it. The MCAT is so overwhelming that at times it can feel that what you're doing is never enough. By setting this number of questions, I knew that if I had done this amount at least, I didn't have to feel guilty for taking a break. Planning this far in advance helped a lot in the later months when stress and burnout became much more prevalent. As long as I did my Anki cards and my set number of UWorld questions for the day, I let myself take a break without feeling guilty. These small tweaks had major payoffs to my mindset and ultimately helped me to succeed. It took a lot of trial and error to discover which strategies, resources, and time management tools worked for me. The MCAT is one of the most disheartening, frustrating, and stressful things I've ever had to deal with. But I really believe that by optimizing your resources and schedule to your needs, you can rest a little bit easier knowing that you did the best you possibly could. If you're curious about where to start planning your journey, click on the link below. Our free MCAT strategy email is designed to help students like you gain insight into different study strategies so you can start thinking about which ones will help you the most. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck on creating a study plan that works best for you.